What's up, guys? It's Tajay here, and I'm with my friend Breakthrough, and we're actually back with part two of our podcast. And Breakthrough, want to introduce and relay what we're going to be going over today?
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of topics to cover. We got everything from, the game potentially being downgraded to thoughts on the rapper Logic being in the game, as well as the song that he made, which kind of hints at a scene behind The Last of Us Part 2. We also are going to talk about a bunch of other stuff, such as the potential release date coming out in August. Now, that's going to be a bit of a debate between me and Taji because we have different opinions on that topic. But look, that's just the beginning of topics. We're going to have Mystery Woman, character development, what happened in the 4 or 5 years. We're going to theorize what happened at the end of The Last of Us Part 1 when Ellie pretty much gets lied to by Joel, and then fast forward to 5 years later. Um, yeah. But before I even start the video, Taji, I just wanted to say one thing.
All right.
Let's let's get if you're watching this video right now, whether it's on Taj's channel or my channel, you need to go right now to Victoria's Gray's Instagram. Yes, Victoria's Gray's Instagram. If you don't know her Instagram, you're not a true Last of Us 2 fan. Search up her Instagram, go on her Instagram, and comment and spam all her photos telling her, get on the Last of Us 2 podcast. Pretty much, I talked to her over DM a few times, but now she's not replying, and I really want this damn interview. All right, that's all I wanted to get out of the way. But go ahead and top it off, Taji.
Yeah, that'll be definitely a nice treat. I mean, and we could probably try to get a little, squeeze something out of her, a little bit of answers. So definitely go ahead and do that. And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
oh
so I
yeah.
mean, if you want to start this off, we could go ahead.
All right, so um, we made a list. Let's start with the potential of the game being downgraded. Um, I want to hear what's your take on the game potentially being downgraded, and then I'll tell you what I feel because what I feel kind of like answers and a general question. So I want to start it with
Okay.
you first, if you don't mind.
So if we talking about the game being downgraded from, I'm thinking by a mechanical standpoint because we do know by like graphics fidelity that Naughty Dog, their games always come out looking superior and on top. So I have no worries and doubts in my mind that the game won't look as good as we saw in the E3 trailer. I'm just worried that some of the mechanics, such as whenever Ellie's under the car and she pulls the chamber back on her pistol, like little things like that won't be there, or the AI won't be as smart. Little things like that. That's what I mean by downgrade. But I feel like the game will still look just as good. It'll be amazing for our eyes to feast upon. But I just feel like mechanically it could go down.
In regards to what you said, I completely agree. The way I look at it is more of a marketing point of view. There's no denying it. 90% of the games we see when they first get revealed or we get shown at E3 have some sort of downgrade to them because it's literally just not possible to keep up with the mechanics, especially for the consumer.
Right?
But Naughty Dog, if you really look at The Last of Us, which came out in 2013. That was the best quality, game for PlayStation 3, period, and, like, yeah, I can say that confidently, or at least in the top 5 games, especially the fact that this came out in 2013, just a few months before we started getting introduced to PlayStation 4. Um, yeah, I think that the fact that The Last of Us Part 2 is so heavily promoted as having so many details and having, so much intricate environment interactions, whether it be squeezing through a tunnel or being able to, I mean, for fuck's sake, the E3 gameplay trailer starts with Ellie sliding the guy's throat, and you can hear the blood just gush out.
In the
It
detail of like, okay, I will say this will stay in there. You know, like the blood was like it's like spewing out of the hole, and then when she puts it back in, it like catches it and like you know what I mean. Like that's really like I love stuff like that. Like I'm not crazy or anything, but I don't know that I just thought that was really
No,
cool.
dude, it's freaking sick. And but the thing, I was trying to say is that because Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, everyone on the team has emphasized so much, including the Game Informer that made me want to start making videos 3 years ago that got leaked. But 3 years ago, or almost 4 years ago, they were already having Game Informers talking about the mechanics of the game, and it was never shown to the public. So that alone tells me that if there is some sort of downgrade, I would not worry about it because there's just not gonna be a downgrade. If there is, it's not gonna be anything huge. Naughty Dog is known
And
for
and I feel
storytelling.
like the only reason, not to, I'm sorry to cut you off, bro, but I feel like the only reason the PS3 version did you can see it downgrading like AI and like certain animations and things. I think that's mostly because this game was made at the end of the PS3 era and it squeezed out every little bit that they could from the PlayStation 3. So I really think it was just memory limitations that really like have that they couldn't flesh out everything that they had in mind that they showed in that gameplay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the downgrade, like we can, I think we covered for the most part everything there is to the downgrade. I think a lot of people's concerns when it comes to the quality of this game is fair, you know, especially when we don't really have that much gameplay to work with or things to really entertain us. So one of the main things before any game comes out is the you know the problem of it being downgraded. But if you look at Naughty Dog's track record, they haven't done that in any video game. They haven't done that, and if they have, it's on a very minimal level. It's not like EA. You know, I know EA has
Oh
a history
man,
for downgrading games on a horrendous level. You know, and like Watch Dogs, for example, Watch Dogs got downgraded so bad. But that was Ubisoft, I believe, right?
yeah,
Watch Dogs.
Ubisoft made that, yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Ubisoft games, so we're not gonna slander them.
No, no, they're sick. They're sick, man.
Yeah.
They're sick. And yeah, I think it's I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go on The Last of Us 2. No worries. In terms of me, I'm not stressing at all about that. I would be more worried about the storyline. I would be more worried about what's going to happen with the characters and just getting answers, man. It's going to be a beautiful journey.
Right. Now, Breakthrough, I'm not really sure if you know about this, but I made a video covering like like Logic, the rapper being. Do you listen to Logic much?
Oh, of course, man. That I would listen to Logic, 5 a.m., Balling, everything like when Grand Theft Auto
Okay.
5 first came out.
Yeah, yeah. So my man, my man Logic, he's like, so back in April, like they tweeted out a picture of him in mocap, and they're saying they're brutalizing him or whatnot. And recently, it was actually I think on the 14th of July, so roughly 6 days ago from today, that we're recording this on the 20th. He actually released a new song, and it's called "These Days" with like his new artist that he signed to his record label. I think it's called Bobby Boy Records or something like that. And he referenced the game in the lyrics.
Oh yeah, could you pull up those lyrics or 3 minutes and 17 seconds? Or we don't even have to pull it up. Look, I can just explain to people. All right, so the song "These Days" by Logic, 3 minutes and 17 seconds, I believe, or around that time frame. He speaks about The Last of Us Part Two. He gives a shout out to Naughty Dog, and he literally ends that segment with saying that he's passing a torch to a boy. Now, from all of Logic's songs, I think he's referring to The Last of Us Part Two. I don't think he would be referring to just a random thought that came to his head. You know, if he's talking about The Last of Us Part Two, if he specifically mentions Naughty Dog, why wouldn't he be referring to a scene in the game? You know, just to hide it in plain sight.
And,
What do you
and
think about that?
I mean, it definitely can make sense because like it could be like very what's the word here? It just goes by how you perceive the message. Because what he did say, he was like, "Coming for the buckshot." I mean, what he said, "Coming for the head, buckshot, I win. I don't play games, I star in them." That's word to Naughty Dogs. That's word to Last of Us. Bobby, slow it down, rapping too fast for us. I'm gonna keep going. I'm no one. I'm passing the torch to the boy. Now go in. So I mean, we do know, like he
He said
is
he's passing the
making.
torch and go in, man.
Yeah, like
Go in. Go
he's
like
only
a word
been
he used in
there.
video
Yeah, he's only been
games.
there for like a day, so like there's not very much he could do. Like I doubt he's gonna be a fully fleshed out character into the game. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna be like, have his little cameo appearance. He's a fan of the game. He's a big famous rapper, so it'd be cool if we could just see him. I guess it'd be cool for his fans. And I know a lot of gamer guys listen to Logic. I mean, he actually kind of phase gaming actually helped his career like heavily.
Oh no, no, he literally came up because of Call of Duty montages.
Right.
Like if anybody really knows the history of YouTube when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 5, oh man, this brings me back to so many other times. But yeah, let's not get too
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but like Logic though, like yeah, he's been a fan, huge video game nerd, huge nerd of Naughty Dogs. I mean, he follows Nolan North, he follows a lot of the members on
Right.
Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, yeah, I think we're definitely gonna see him at
Yeah.
some point.
Cameo appearance though. I'm thinking cameo appearance.
And it would be pretty sick if you literally hid like a quick scene in the game in those lyrics. Like I would not be surprised if when this game comes out, we literally see Logic pass a torch to a boy, and then he goes into some sort of tunnel. And that reminds me, bro, when you look at the video, actually in general, the whole atmosphere and environment for The Last of Us Part Two. This is a post-apocalyptic game. There's gonna be tunnels. Even in The Last of Us Part One, we were under the sewers. Or we were in some sort of underground environment. I feel like
Yeah,
history
especially
repeats itself.
now that we can go prone and stuff, it can make really different like verticality to the game of us like just exploring a little bit, like going through, let's say, kind of like in Left Behind, with through an air duct, like little things like that. I feel like we can crawl through things, like crawl under a desk into another side, like like things like that.
Oh heck yeah,
Plus, I don't
man.
think you noticed, but The game actually, it looks like let's say it's like a playground. So let's say you walk into like the store, like on the second game. I mean, on the second game when they did the E3 gameplay, you know, how she goes into the store, right? And it's like how it is, but at the end of the fight, it's kind of destroyed because she like threw
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
explosion arrow and she was thrown into the glass and stuff where he shot the door out. Like I feel like the world would be destructible to an extent to where like you walk in and it's this way and you could leave and you could tell that somebody's been there. Like it would be riddled with bullet holes or like explosions, like things like that. Like that's
Oh,
pretty cool.
and I think that's why they took so long because I don't care what people say. Dude, you have no idea, Taji. I was getting so much hate when I told people that the game started being worked on in 2014, and no one believes me because the LinkedIn, the website for job resumes, he
Right.
deleted it. Like Anthony Newman, I might be wrong. It might not be Anthony Newman. It's been a while, but the co-lead game designer for Naughty Dog at the time, he pretty much posted it that he was working on head sculptures early 2014. So if this game comes out February 2020, this game literally took 6 years to release, and that's at least 5 years in development. The amount of intricacy and detail that they put into this project is beautiful, and I think that's what's really gonna make the huge difference in terms of gameplay mechanics. And that goes back to the game being downgraded. If the game's downgraded, it's going to be maybe a 5-10% margin, which I guarantee you it's not going to be the looks of the game. It's not going to be the visual. It might just be details that we won't even notice that we're taking out.
Right. I mean, I definitely agree with you, bro.
Let's see. We can talk. Let's talk about the first two conferences that PlayStation's having in a year and 3 months now.
Oh yeah, so you're
So
you're telling me about China Joy, right? China Joy
yeah,
2019.
so a lot of people from the U.S. Whenever they hear of anything Chinese, they'll usually picture in their brains something of less quality. But this is where we're gonna debate a little bit. So we're gonna have a bit of a heated discussion for the next 5 minutes, me and Tajim. All right.
All right.
So we haven't had any information on The Last of Us Part Two in well over a year, and not only that, PlayStation and Sony and Naughty Dog, they all took the liberty of specifically backing out. They canceled PlayStation Experience. So, when we could have seen a lot of new information from Naughty Dog on the biggest.
You gotta remember, they only backed out of E3 and PlayStation Experience because they said they didn't have much to show, and that's true. They really don't have much left in this generation to really show us. They only really have three major releases that we know of coming out
Oh no,
left.
no, dude, I love you brought that up because I hate to say it, but it kind of it makes me be more sure of what I'm saying. Because look,
All
if
right.
we haven't had any information on anything worth showing, and PlayStation and Sony feel the need to back out of PlayStation Experience, and then they also back out of E3. At least Naughty Dog, we didn't get to see anything for E3 in regards to Naughty Dog. So when they purposely announce and take the time, even on Twitter, to say that they're not going to be a part of these two events, and we haven't seen anything in almost a year, and 2 months, it'll be almost a year and a half. So if we haven't seen anything for that long, because they didn't have content, they know, bro. In the Video Game Awards last year, they said The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out in 2019. Do you have any idea how bad that made them look? Because look, no one's going to take the time to tell millions of people The Last of Us 2 is coming out in 2019 unless Naughty Dog approves it.
Correct.
Because Naughty Dog knows how pissed off people are. Naughty Dog knows how much people have been waiting
Especially
for so
from
long.
how things went with Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 was delayed, I think, like 5 times. If
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
talked about this so many times in my videos. There's actually a timeline of delays for Uncharted 4. So they're really
Yes.
they're not trying to do that again. That's why they're being so like top secret and holding it on us.
So look, they made the mistake of saying it was coming out in 2019, which that was the original intended release date. Like many sources said. Um, But now, man, I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, so long story short, guys, I think that we're gonna see some sort of information on The Last of Us Part Two, either at China Joy, which is gonna be they're gonna have a 2 hour show for PlayStation and Sony, and it's gonna be huge, huge. It's almost as big or even bigger than E3, at least for that side of the world. Obviously, we're not too informed on how things work. We're also gonna have Gamescom, and Gamescom is gonna be late August, and the fact that we haven't seen anything for so long, and Naughty Dog already messed up announcing to the public that we would get this game when in fact we didn't. It got postponed from 2019 to February 2020. I don't know, Taji. I
Okay.
think it's due time, man.
No, all right. You got to hear me out here. Okay, hear me out here. So China Joy, correct?
Yes.
That market, that the people over in China, the games they play and the theme of their games are very much different from what the rest of the world are really into. Like they're more into like JRPGs and like animated games, things like that. So like it's already been confirmed also like PlayStation they already kind of like rumored like 7 games that are going to be showed there and I've seen them all 7 games. They're nothing at all of anything that'll be released here in America, like at all. And plus, it's happening August 1st. Now, I will say Gamescom. Okay, since Gamescom runs through August 20th through the 24th, and it has like a lot of different companies going, as such as Ubisoft and Xbox and EA Games, and there's a lot more people participating. I could see them showing something at Gamescom, but I don't want to put my faith into that just because we've talked about so many times like so many different things where the game like could be shown off and even me myself whenever I said the game's going to be coming out 2019 and I put all my hopes in that and not my hope into the delay and then the delay happened. I just feel like I want to be sure and just wait for PSX completely and just be 100% sure and not be let down again. I cannot be let down again, so I really just think PSX will be the perfect time for them to show off the game. Plus it'll be their first like their next official like big event other than Gamescom and China Joy. I feel like PSX would be cool because majority of people actually know about PSX here in the states, and the
Well,
states.
you also got to keep in mind Paris Games Week. That was the most
That's
random way,
true.
and
That's
like
true.
Paris Games Week was so unexpected, and they ended up releasing
Yeah, I
the
didn't expect that either.
gameplay,
It came out of nowhere. I
the
didn't even
story
know.
trailer.
Yeah,
So
okay.
okay,
We think about that. That's actually a very much high possibility. But I want to finish what I'm saying real quick. So back to like PSX, you got to think about it. So like that's 2 months before the game would come out. Since the game would come out in February, 2 months before is the perfect time for them to finally show something, in my opinion. Plus, we've seen them do things like this with God of War. They technically did it with Uncharted, since Uncharted did get pushed back and they had to do another trailer. Like they have 2 different story trailers for Uncharted 4, and they actually labeled them like on their PlayStation page with the different dates because of the delay. So I feel like it very much so can be like shown off 2 months before the game comes out. Like I just feel like that could happen. Or you never know. Like we could get a state of play like anytime randomly. You can't forget state of play is a thing.
okay. So there's too many possibilities. So we got two events coming in August. Both
Right.
of them will be there. We have PlayStation
PSX.
Experience at the end of the year. We got Paris Games Week. We got State of Play. All I'm saying, Tajay, is okay. You might be right. It might be PlayStation Experience, but I don't think they're gonna do it 2 months difference, man. I just don't see Naughty Dog, giving us the release date finally. And when you think about it, we've gotten a reveal trailer, a
Right.
story trailer, and a gameplay trailer. Usually we get a launch trailer, and even in between that launch trailer, we get little segments and different information and conferences and things to catch us up onto the game. Like we haven't had any of that.
We
So
haven't.
if we wait till PlayStation Experience, they have to do all that in a matter of 2 months. They got to
Now,
catch everybody
you're
up.
right. You're actually right with that because I will say God of War did have many more updates for the game than The Last of Us had. So God of War they did keep us up to date with what's going on pretty well.
So I do see where you're coming from because like it's happened before, and nothing's set in stone. But I look. I think I'm the first one to say it. Like firsthand, I know I know what it is to get people's hopes up, and then everyone be pissed. And not only that, but me myself get irritated because I put my hope and faith into my prediction. But I don't want to let all my mistakes, limit me from going 100% into like the present moment because now we're right around the corner from The Last of Us 2 coming out. Like now is the time to really put up these theories, these predictions, and just have them be very, very, very well informed. Because one way or another, we're gonna get more info on this game in a matter of a few months. It might be look, it could be anywhere from August 1st to, you know, we got China Join, we got Gamescom, we got PlayStation Experience, we got State of Plays, which we know there's going to be one sooner or later, even though they haven't really made it public yet. Um, and then not only that, but the people that leaked all these things, like State of Play, the people that leaked that are the same sources now that are backing up, Jason Schreier and the senior analysts at Nico Investors that are all stating that the game's coming out February 2020, and
Right.
these people were the same ones that were saying that the game was coming out late 2019. which is what exactly was said at the Video Game Awards last
And
year.
we got to add on
But
top of Ashley Johnson, with the February
oh, and
thing.
Ashley Johnson mentioned in February at the interview. So at this point, me and Tajay, we believe that it's a given that it's just guaranteed coming out in February 2020, and I can't see this game being delayed anymore.
I
I
can't
just
either.
can't, bro.
Plus, with PlayStation 5 coming the holiday season of 2020, and you
Oh
gotta
yeah,
remember, Ghost of Tsushima still has to release as well. So technically, if Ghost of Tsushima wasn't there, it could be delayed. But it wouldn't. If they did that, it would hurt Ghost of Tsushima like
bro. And when you think
heavily.
about it, like when you think about it, when we got The Last of Us in PlayStation 3, how long was it before they released the remastered version for PlayStation 4? Well, what I'm trying to prove here is that you need at least a good 6 to 12 months in between the original copy and the better quality copy to get people motivated to purchase the game. If we were to release PlayStation 5 with a Last of Us 2 bundle and PlayStation 4 copies at the same time, that would hurt their sales versus in comparison if they were to release it in February 2020 like it's supposed to, and then 10 months later or 9 months later we get the holiday season and we get PlayStation 5. Time has passed. It keeps people motivated. It keeps people engaged, and they're like, "Oh, I already finished the game, but I want a PlayStation 5, and I want to experience this on a whole new level." I don't know. I feel like if they give us too much at once, it takes away its value. If they do it in increments, it just adds more value. So even from an emotional or a psychological point of view, like I don't know. It just makes no fucking sense for this game to get delayed not one more day.
Yeah, honestly, bro. If like Noah Druckmann's actually joking around that each time we ask release date or like tweet at him about it, that he delays the game by 5 minutes every single time. Did you see that?
Wait.
He was like,
He says
he was
this.
like joking around because every single time he tweets something, people like flood his comment section with like, when's the game coming out? When we get more official news, and they're like, we're gonna be this old or Z many years whenever we get the release date, or T many it's T more days till we get like a trailer. And he actually tweeted out, like, he replied, he was like, look, every single time that you guys ask about the release date or when the game's coming, the game is delayed 5 more minutes with like a savage face or like an emoji.
Bro, dude, he's trolling us.
Yeah, he's trolling. He's definitely trolling, bro. I feel like, bro, he truly he knows when the right time is, and he knows deep down they already have the time set in stone. They're just not even gonna tell us. There's really
Bro,
probably
we don't get people that work for multi-million dollar companies, hundreds of millions of dollars, and we don't get that type of companies and people that represent those companies. When you have power, you have responsibility, and a lot of these people that we keep sourcing, no one knows who they are. No one really knows who Jason Schreier is. No one knows who the guy that works for. I gotta get this guy's name because I just keep saying the guy
the
that works
guy.
for Nico Investors. Nico Investors. I believe his name's Zeno. Well, the Oriental man. He's a well-known gaming insider as well. No one knows any of the sources that we're talking about, but that doesn't mean the sources aren't legit, man. Yeah, bro. I want people to understand that this game is coming out very soon, and I'm talking about super soon. But look, we've already said that so many times, man. You want to talk about the mystery woman, bro?
Oh yeah, okay. So you're gonna have to be quiet for this. This is about to take time, okay? All right, so last time in the last episode, we're actually talking about the mystery woman and how it could be like how I was saying it's not Ellie's mom, and I was also saying it's a playable character. Well, I actually want to touch on this on why 100% I think it's a playable character, and I know for a fact I have to be right. If I'm wrong, then I guess then I'm just a liar. But in my opinion, this is a 100% playable character, and this is why. So if you think about The Last of Us 1, correct? There was also 3 playable characters in that game. There was Sarah at the very beginning, there was Joel in the middle, and then we had Ellie at the end. Okay. Now, if you think back to every cutscene that happened in The Last of Us, it was always through the eyes of our main protagonist at that time. So at the very beginning of the game, the camera starts off, boom, it's Sarah. And Joel comes in and he's like the side piece, okay? He's like the side character. He's a main
Okay,
character,
so
but he's coming
when
in.
the camera first moves into the character, that means that we're going to. Oh, I get it
Yes,
now.
yes, bro. So like we're playing as Sarah, boom, car crash happens out of nowhere. The camera comes back. We're looking at Joel. He's the first thing we see, and then it goes into gameplay, and we're playing as Joel. Okay, same thing that happens when we start playing as Ellie. Whenever Joel was hurt, and she's like, when that cutscene started, Joel came out, he fell. Then the camera was on Ellie. She was like, "You got to tell me what to do." You know, she was trying to help him up or
Oh, bro,
whatnot.
this is genius. This is
Yes.
genius, bro.
So
We gotta make a separate video just on this alone.
yeah. So just in like in Paris Game Week's trailer, that cutscene, there was no characters that we knew of. And we know that Joel could be a playable character, and we already speculated on that. I already showed whatever's on the screen. You guys gotta go check out the video, probably leave in the description. As well as we know for a fact that Ellie's confirmed to be a character by Neil Druckmann himself. So if you think back to the Paris for Game Week trailer, we see Mystery Woman, okay? She's the only character in that game, in that trailer that was introduced that we know of. And none of our main characters there, no, nor Joel, not Ellie. So at the very end of that cutscene, the camera pans off from the mystery woman into her hammer towards the clickers. Now we know this game will have real time cutscenes. It will not cut and start like the first game. This game will be ran all in real time. So that would fade into gameplay right there. After where that trailer ends off, that's where the gameplay would start. Which pretty much also, if we go by history, that's literally, that is pretty much saying that this is going to be a playable character. Plus, Uncharted 4 also had 3 playable characters as well, so we shouldn't really be excited about there being 3 playable characters. They've done this 2 times in a row now, so if we were to do it a third time,
Bro, you're a genius, Taja.
right.
This makes perfect sense, bro. Okay, look, if I were to start a company, obviously, when you start a company, you have foundation, you have rules, you have a way of doing things and running things. So the picture I'm trying to paint here is that when Naughty Dog first started, obviously you could see so many similarities between Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2, Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 3, Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4, Uncharted 4 to Last of Us 1, The Last of Us 2 now. There's always similarities in terms of the mechanics because,
Right. Well,
it's like a
technically,
habit.
actually, you're actually completely correct, but it switched to Last of Us and then Uncharted 4. Like The Last of Us, they took some mechanics from that and threw it in Uncharted 4. You
Well,
going, bro?
yeah, I got
Yeah, yeah,
I got the timing of the release wrong, but
yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is that these if it's like me, I started using a computer when I was very young, so I got used to the keyboard and I have my own way of using the keyboard. I know this makes no sense at first glance, but we're all human beings. These people are going to inevitably be crossing the same mechanics and the same style of creating those games. So if you look at any Naughty Dog game, including The Last of Us 1, what Tajay is saying to better paint it into a great picture is that whenever we're going to play as a character, the cutscene leading up to the point, for example, when we started The Last of Us Part 1, we have a cutscene, and that cutscene starts off with us looking at Joel's daughter sleeping. If Joel's daughter is sleeping, then as soon as the cutscene went away, boom, we got to play as her. And then when we get another cutscene, which we already knew Joel was in the picture and he was, we were going to get to play as him at some point. That's not what I'm talking about. When we see another cutscene transitioning over from Joel's daughter to Joel, we ended up actually playing as Joel. This is something that can happen level to level. I'm not saying it's like this on every single level of all Naughty Dog games, but what we're seeing here on The Last of Us Part 2 is that these are cutscenes. What you need to understand is like The Last of Us Part 2, they specifically said what we're seeing for those trailers are nothing more than little scenes of the game. So this is exactly that the story trailer, the reveal trailer, all those things we're literally gonna actually get to experience it in the final product of the game. We're gonna see a cutscene of Ellie's mom being, or we can debate who it is, but of the lady being hung off the tree. And then that means that there's a high chance we're actually going to play as her. If there's anything that's crossed over from the first projects over to the mechanics of The Last of Us Part 2, which we know that's a fact. Um, habits die hard, man. I think that they're gonna do the same
Correct.
thing that they did on Part 1 to Part 2. Yeah, yeah. I really not, dude. You just opened my. It was so simple that I thought it was complicated, and that's why I spaced out when you were explaining it to me
Right.
yesterday. I was like, wait, what's this guy talking about? And then I'm like, wait, no, he's talking about the cutscenes. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just like giving a deeper, elaborative way of giving the picture than pretty much like you summed it up so they could understand more if I ramble too much. But yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
bro. So let's
And
have a
then
let's have a.
we're actually, should we take like a little quick break?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're gonna have a little commercial in between, and we'll be back. In our quick commercial break, it's not really an advertisement or anything. I just want to remind you that we are starting this podcast. We're taking it very seriously. And as a result, we've decided to open up an Instagram page called The Last of Us Podcast. TLOU podcast, both words combined. We're going to have a link on it in the description as well on the screen where you can just click. and be redirected to the page. Now, what is special about this Instagram page? Well, if you want your voice to be heard and you want your opinion to be on our next episode, literally submit topics, submit ideas. If I'm not logged in, Taji is going to take over. If Taji is not available, I'll take over. We're going to reply to every single DM, and we're really going to start taking a lot of the subscribers' voices and even shout them out. So if you send us something you want us to cover about The Last of Us Part 2, on the next episode, we will literally shout you out. Check it out. Right, Taji? We're not going to slack off
Yeah,
on that.
check it out. Check it out. Make sure to take advantage of this opportunity. Please hit us up. Hit us up in comments. Hit us up in the podcast. Hit us up anywhere you possibly can get a hold of us. My Discord, probably anywhere you possibly can get a hold of us. We will be answering.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'm gonna look at every single DM, and I think the Instagram thing is gonna really help out long term because we can have that as a platform where we can just keep people up to date. Like any new piece of information that comes out that's not really worth making a whole video on, we can still keep people engaged and entertained on social media. All right, guys, and we're back. As you just heard, we did open an Instagram, so if you want to submit any topics, recommendations, or literally anything at all that you want us to cover, actually DM us and we will reply to you guys. Me and Tajay are going to be logged into the account. So if I'm not available, he'll answer. If he's not available, I'll answer. So make sure to click that link in the description and check out
And you will be
TLOU
noticed for,
podcast.
yeah, you will be
Yes,
noticed
yeah, we'll
for
give you a
your comment.
shout out. We'll give you a shout out, you know? And then if the theory turns out to be true, the topic you bring up, we'll give you a free copy when the game comes out. Okay. I take that. Okay, let me stop because everybody will get their hopes up. All right.
And then, yeah, also, if you guys who are watching my video right now, if you could leave your comments in the comment section below, I'll be reading everything. I'll be taking note of everything, make sure I relay it to Breakthrough. And then also, if we use your comment, I will make it in my video to where I plaster your comment, at the end and give you a little shout out.
Clout.
Clout, free clout.
Fuck yeah. All right. So let's finish this video off with something really important, Tajay. A lot of people are wondering what the fuck happened in those 4 years after Joel lies to Ellie's face. Did Ellie grab a machete, kill Joel, and that's why we haven't seen anything about Joel? Just kidding, Joel's alive. The point I'm trying to make is what happened in those 4 or 5 years? I have some theories of my own. They're very general, but they do answer a lot of things. But I want to start with you, Tajay.
Okay, so here's my theory, but my theory is gonna have to result back to Michelle Woman. I know I keep bringing this woman up a lot. I promise I'm not obsessed, but we have to bring this up. So in the time frame of that cutscene, I think that it's in the same time frame as the Ellie's gameplay because the Seraphites are there, and the Seraphites are who Ellie is fighting in her gameplay. And I feel like knowing that the Seraphites are an organized cultist group, that's not something that can be developed the second the outbreak starts. Now, this is why I have to say that. So if we think to the Fireflies are fighting back against the government, against the government's oppression on the people, correct? And it actually took them years and years and years to revolutionize the group and start fighting back. It took years before that happened. There's no way this crazy cultist group who are hanging people and doing these executions brutally, and we don't even know the motive behind it yet, could just organize and come up this quick. Like, there's no way that it just is not realistic. So I feel like the way they're gonna write in this cultist group would actually be in between the 4 and 5 year skip, and then Ellie and Joel between those 4 or 5 years, they're just chilling in Jackson, and they're just living their best lives, and they're actually forgetting what it's like.
Oh man, you're gonna hate me for this, Tajay, but I'll go ahead and say this. All right. You're right, but I think that's Ellie's mom, man. Like, if this cult is related to Ellie's mom, that can explain so much of Ellie's missing background and so much of the things we don't know. So you're right. It takes time to develop, and this is probably more towards the future than rather in the past, even though we have time jumping. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know, bro. I think that's Ellie's mom, bro. I think that's Ellie's mom. I think we're really gonna because the whole focus of the game is Ellie's side of the story. So why wouldn't we cover the mom? Why wouldn't we go into her family maybe or some sort of relative?
I feel it. Plus, I mean, to better, help your side, they actually did say that, like, one of the writers of the game, it was actually in the press conference, I think it might have been Paris Game Week, actually, where he didn't, yeah, it actually was Paris Game Weeks, whenever they're having a conference. And That's the same conference. He was like, "What do you mean The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out in 2019? Correct? It was Paris Game Week."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that
no, no,
same.
no, that was the video game awards, but it was like
Oh
it
yeah,
was
Video Game
video.
Awards. My bad. Sorry about that. So at the Video Game Awards, that same as that conference as the Video Game Awards, they Neil Druckmann, he actually didn't want to like leak it. He was like, I don't want to like spoil anything. And then everybody in the crowd was like, oh, like come on, come on. And so then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And they was like, yeah. So then he was all like, he pretty much explained like the conversation with, like him and the writer. Whenever she got home, she texted him that she pretty much wrote in a character to be pregnant. He said he's not gonna say it is, but a character did get pregnant. And we know that Ellie cannot
Yeah,
get pregnant because she's into
she's not
girls.
into men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean that does help your side, but I mean I'm still just gonna be very stubborn and just not believe that Ellie has a sister and that is not her mom. Plus, I want a new character. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Ellie's mom is great for lore, and the lore keeps things like the game lively and talked about. So that's my opinion.
Bad, bro. Bad. I mean, dude, I again, this is just fun to me, man. This is just fun to me. We can debate and argue and all that. I'll just be having fun.
I feel it, bro. We can go on forever. But at the
Damn,
end
bro.
of the
We
day, I'm not changing your mind. You're not changing my mind. So I mean, it's up for the viewers to decide.
That's true, man. That's true, bro. Look, man, I'm happy as fuck, man. I'm happy that I'm even a part of this journey. I'm happy that I'm here and look, man, I've been doing YouTube for so long that I'm kind of just numb to it. But I gotta realize that, bro. Even you, Tajay, this game has a lot of potential. This game is actually gonna change our lives, bro.
Right.
The fact that dude, I've gotten 10 million views on a video game that's not even out.
I guess I
Like
put
literally,
100,000.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a
So
new
that's
kid
why,
in town. I feel like I've been growing at a pretty great rate though. I feel like people
bro.
like me.
Dude,
So
you haven't even been in YouTube for half a year, and you're already almost at 1,500 subs. It's only gonna keep going up.
right.
It's a beautiful thing, man. You know, it's
Yeah, it's only
now's the
been two
time. Now's the
months.
time for us to go hard. Now's the time for us to stay on top of this game. Now's the time for us to cover every single angle of this game. It's gonna be a rush against time, but
Right.
this game, oh my god, right? I'm thinking I'm gonna find my wife through this game. Like this game's gonna like open so many doors. I'm gonna meet so many fans. I'm just gonna come across a cute
Right.
girl and then
And
we're gonna
plus,
get
you never
married.
know. We could actually be able to meet people. Like I already know you have, but it would be a dream, like come true for me to meet people behind the dev team as well, or voice
Bro,
actors.
we can literally, bro, whenever they're having any show, bro, literally buy a cheap ticket over to Vegas and we'll drive over to LA and
Right.
do a vlog. We'll do a vlog with Nolan North, Troy Baker, everything.
See, that'd be pretty cool. Plus, I have family that's out in Vegas, so I wouldn't even have to worry about hotels or anything. But
Chill, bro.
yeah, but I want
That'd
to
be
talk to the
clutch.
viewers directly for a second. So if you
Yeah, go
guys are
ahead.
watching this, trust me, we are loving what we're doing here, and we love you guys' feedback. So make sure you're please giving us some suggestions in the comments, as well as if you could share this podcast around. We're trying to make this the biggest thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to be the biggest podcast, the biggest coverage, the biggest news outlet for this game. So if you have any friends, any other fans, make sure you share this podcast around. Subscribe to me and Breakthrough's channel. If you're on my channel watching this, please click the link in the description and subscribe to my boy Breakthrough. And yeah,
You know what, Tajay? I know you always say maybe aim for like 150 likes. No, 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 no. If you're watching this on Tajay's channel, 500 likes. Otherwise, he'll stop making videos. I'm
500
just
likes.
say it right. Just say it right now. Be cocky. Be
All right, all
cocky.
right. If I don't
500
get
likes.
500
I'll
likes on this
stop making
video, I'm
videos.
not making a video for 3 weeks.
If I don't get 2,000 likes on this video, I'm not making a video for like 2 weeks.
So I need everybody on my channel go over to Breakthroughs and hit the like button and subscribe to my boy.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I'm excited, bro. Let's get it, man. Yo, I think this is one of our most elaborate episodes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Expect more videos. Expect at least 2-3 videos every week from my part, and even more from Tajay. So let's get this ball rolling, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Yeah, and if you're watching this, you better go to my channel right now. Make daily content.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.